That infamous look of disdain. That classic expression that screams, "Get out of my way, you little creature." And the silence. That deafening silence that basically flashes neon signs saying, "I'd rather be on Mars than near you." Spoiler alert. She doesn't think you're the villain of a soap opera for nothing. But hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it's not the train. Perceptions can change, even how she sees you, or ignores you. Now comes the fun part. Most guys get everything wrong. They persist as if there's no tomorrow, make promises that wouldn't fool a poodle, or pretend to change like it's a telenovela plot twist. You know what the result is? Nothing, but relax, my friend. Because today you're going to learn how to turn the game around smartly, dismantling every brick of that wall she built. The goal? Make her not only respect you, but eventually desire you. Yes, because if you're going to play the game, play it right. Now let's set some expectations. If you want the raw truth, no filters, and no self-help fluff, stick with me. But fair warning, the last step is the do or die moment of this entire plan. Before we dive in, a quick note. Do you know why this video reached you? Because someone clicked like and subscribed. Now it's your turn to pay the toll of knowledge. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and drop a thanks algorithm in the comments. It's not for me. It's for the machine that decides whether this content lands in the hands of other unsuspecting folks like you. Ready? No beating around the bush. Let's get straight to the point. Number 1. Why does she see you as an enemy? Before trying to change how she sees you, let's face the hard truth. You didn't become the villain of this story for nothing. No, she didn't wake up one fine day and decide to treat you like a cockroach in the kitchen. If she's avoiding you, rolling her eyes, or simply ignoring you, you can bet you had your reasons. Women don't do this for sport, my friend. Want to know where it all went wrong? Let's go. Maybe you were too obvious, jealous, controlling, or that master of insensitive comments. Or, who knows, the problem was more subtle. You were present like a decorative plant, physically there but emotionally on another planet. And you know what the worst part is? Most of the time, we only realize we messed up when the ball has already turned into a meteor. Here's the picture. She gave you signs. Small or big, but she did. Changes in her tone of voice, short or non-existent responses to messages or arguments that clearly pointed to dissatisfaction. And what did you do? Nothing. Or worse, you blamed her with the classic, "You're overreacting." Brilliant, huh? Applause for you. And then comes the grand finale, the emotional dependency show. If you've become that clingy guy who needs attention like it's oxygen, congratulations. You've just given her every reason in the world to run the other way. Because nobody, I repeat, nobody can stand someone who turns liking into suffocating. So, let's be frank. Stop justifying your mistakes with, "But I just wanted to show how much I like her." Because, spoiler alert, it doesn't matter how much you feel something. What matters is how you show it. Desperate actions only reinforce the walking problem image she already has of you. What to do? First, admit that the problem exists and that you're the one to blame. No excuses, no, but she was the one who... Take responsibility. Ask yourself, was I controlling? Selfish? Did I not listen to what she was saying with all her words or silences? If the answer is yes, congratulations. Now you know where to start. And for the love of everything sacred, don't play the victim. It's not about making a scene, drowning in self-pity, or writing a drama script. The idea is simple. Acknowledge the impact of your screw-ups and be willing to truly change. She will only start to reevaluate the image she has of you when she sees that you're capable of owning your mistakes and, more importantly, correcting your course without putting on a show. This process of self-criticism is the first step, the foundation, the prerequisite. Clear the ground before building anything new. And don't worry, in the next step we'll talk about how to rebuild your image without seeming desperate or a fake. Spoiler, it'll hurt, but it'll be worth it. Number 2, rebuilding your image without seeming fake. It's time to stop being the dramatic extra in this Mexican telenovela and start playing the protagonist. If you want to rebuild your image, let me tell you up front. Forget grand gestures or declarations worthy of the movies. Women can sniff out fake from miles away. Any attempt to appear something you're not will only make you the pathetic guy in the story. Here's the secret. Change for real, and not for her, but for yourself. Because, my friend, if it's just a little theater act, she'll notice. They always notice. Think like this. You stop living like a needy shadow, start showing confidence without having to beg for approval, and suddenly, she sees someone completely different. This new you not only attracts but also disarms. Because, spoiler alert, self-confidence is irresistible. Now, the practical script. Build real self-confidence. No more pretending to be the king of the jungle with a rented car or posting gym selfies to compensate. Real confidence comes from being okay with yourself. Quick question. What in your life is a mess? Health, work, friendships. Fix that. Self-esteem naturally improves when you start taking your life seriously. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Improve your posture. Literally, if you're walking around like you're carrying the weight of the world, stop. Shoulders back, head held high. Make eye contact with people. Show calm even when the situation is shaking you up. You know what that communicates? That you're solid, and women respect solid guys. Be consistent or quit. The problem with those who change is that they do it for a week and then revert to the desperate mode. The key here is consistency. Real change is a lifestyle, not a phase to impress. Want her to believe in you? Prove it with consistent actions. Relearn to speak and act. If before you were sending soap opera-worthy texts or begging for attention with silly memes, stop now. Mature communication is objective and calm. You don't need to be available 24/7. Value your time and she'll start to value yours too. It's not a game. It's about having priorities. Show, don't tell. Example. You used to chase her down, shower her with affection or sweet messages. Now you stop. Not because you're punishing her, but because you have more important things to do, like improving your life. She notices. Maybe she asks what's going on. Maybe she stays quiet. But the curiosity, oh, that's guaranteed. Remember, rebuilding your image isn't about impressing today. It's about becoming a version of yourself that's impossible to ignore. When she realizes you're not just reacting to rejection, but truly growing, the dynamic completely changes. Oh, and one last touch to wrap it up. Tired of living like an emotional punching bag? If you're still accepting crumbs and thinking it's a feast, I suggest evolving. Go to the description and grab an emotional survival manual. No Nutella self-help. I'm talking about becoming the guy who, if he's not valued, says, bye and blessings. Because you know what's worse than being rejected? Living by begging for attention. Stop selling yourself at clearance prices. Those who want to stay, stay. Those who don't, let them be happy with the next sucker. Number 3, the trigger that makes her see you in a new light. You've started to clean up your life. Congratulations. Now you can say you're no longer that desperate, needy guy who lived on emotional crumbs. But rebuilding your image is only half the game. Now comes the master stroke, subtly and strategically altering her perception of you without needing to deliver a single dramatic speech. And here comes the curiosity trigger. Nothing makes someone more intrigued than unexplained changes. If you change and don't flaunt it in her face, guess what happens? She starts to wonder, what's going on? Has he really changed? Did I miss something? And it's at that exact moment that she begins to reconsider the view she has of you. Let's get to the practical plan to activate this trigger like a pro. Show value without needing to talk. You know what doesn't work? Sending messages like, look how different I am. Nobody respects someone who seems desperate to be noticed. The trick is to let your actions speak for you, and indirectly. Example: you started running again, joined a gym, picked up that stalled project, or even changed your lifestyle. You don't need to tell her, nor post 300 stories. Let her find out by chance through others, or simply by noticing. The impact is much greater when she discovers it on her own, because it doesn't seem like you're doing it to impress her. Make her feel your absence. When you were available all the time, guess what she felt? Nothing. Because if you're there 24/7, what incentive does she have to value you? Now, the idea is to create space. This doesn't mean disappearing like a ghost or treating her coldly. It's about prioritizing your life to the point where she notices you have other important things going on. Take longer to respond to messages without overdoing it. Don't feel obliged to explain where you are or what you're doing. This slight distancing creates a gap that, if used well, makes her want to fill it. Be mysterious but not an idiot. Changing doesn't mean turning into an iceberg. If she seeks you out, be present but with balance. Respond calmly, without anxiety or exaggeration. If you convey calmness and self-sufficiency, she'll notice you're no longer that predictable and clingy guy. This type of mystery makes her mind work against itself. The power of comparison. Remember when she thought you weren't good enough? Well, now she needs to realize you've become someone hard to find. How does that happen? Actions, my friend, not words. When she observes you, even from a distance, evolving and living your best version, her brain automatically goes into comparison mode. Will the next guy be as good as this one? Did I make the right choice? And if you play it right, she'll start to see that maybe the answer is no. What if nothing works? And here comes the cherry on top. If, even after activating all these triggers, she remains indifferent, here's the hard and liberating truth. It wasn't meant to be. Because this entire process isn't just about winning her back, but about building a you that doesn't need anyone's approval to feel good. When you reach this level of personal power, magic happens. Either she comes back and realizes what she lost, or you move forward without looking back. In either scenario, you win. Now, get ready for the next phase. Because if you did all this the right way, the inevitable happens. She starts seeking you out. And in the next topic, we'll handle this situation like a pro, without losing your cool or falling back into the desperate mode. Number 4, when she finally starts reaching out to you. The big moment has arrived. She started showing signs of life. A casual message, a comment on your photos, or that classic accidental reunion that only the naive believe is a coincidence. But hold on, champ. This is the moment where most guys stumble, fall flat on their face, and destroy everything they've built. Want to know how? They revert to being the same desperate, anxious, and predictable guy they were before. Result? She loses interest faster than you can type, "Hey, how are you?" So, how to act when she finally gives you the green light? Simple. Don't go back to being what you were. Maintain balance. She sent you a message. Great. But that's not a reason for you to start jumping for joy like a dog wagging its tail. Respond calmly, on your time, without seeming like you spent the last few months staring at your phone waiting for this moment. Be light, confident, and keep control. Wrong example. Her, "Hey, long time no see." You, "Wow, I can't believe you're talking to me. I missed you so much. How have you been?" Right example. Her, "Hey, long time no see." You, "Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been?" See the difference? One is needy, the other is balanced. Control your expectations. Just because she sent a "hey" doesn't mean she's ready to give you a gold medal and start a Hollywood romance. She's testing you. This is a thermometer, not a free pass. You need to show that you've truly changed, not just create a facade that crumbles at the first breath. In other words, stay calm, be consistent, and for the love of everything, don't interpret any contact from her as a veiled declaration of love. Show value without flaunting it. Now is the time to reinforce the new version of you that's impossible to ignore. Make it clear, without seeming forced, that your life is going well, with or without her. Example, her. So, what have you been up to? You. A lot, actually. I've been dedicating more time to the gym and a project at work. It's been busy but rewarding.
There you go. You showed that you're growing without acting arrogant. Just be careful not to seem like you're bragging. She wants to feel like she discovered this, not that you're trying to impress her. No more old habits.
If you were her emotional doormat before, it's time to change the game. Set clear boundaries. It doesn't mean treating her badly or being cold, but don't accept less than you deserve. For example, if she invites you to something last minute, don't drop everything to rush over. Have priorities and show that your life doesn't revolve around her. People value what isn't always available. Flip the game effortlessly. Here's the final trick. The more she perceives that you're well, balanced, and not as accessible as before, the more interested she becomes. Her mind starts working against itself. Does he still have feelings for me? Am I losing him for good? When she starts seeking you out more actively, you'll have reached your goal. But remember, don't fall into the trap of going back to being the you of the past. Stay firm, maintaining your new stance. In the end, all this is not about chasing her, but about becoming someone she wants to chase. And if she doesn't, her loss. You've already learned that the focus of your life is you, not anyone's approval. Now, take a deep breath, stay in control, and let her do the work of conquering you back. After all, you're not a Black Friday deal for anyone to grab and leave whenever they want.
And we've reached the end, my friend. Now pay attention. Changing how she sees you isn't about acting out a role. It's no use pretending to be the perfect guy if deep down you're still an emotional mess waiting for approval. The change that truly matters is the one that makes even you look in the mirror and think, wow, he's different. When that happens, it's not just her who notices, everyone does. So, let's recap, because repeating never hurts when it comes to pulling you out of the mud. Understand why she drifted away. Acknowledge where you went wrong, and stop thinking it's all her fault. The first step to change is admitting you messed up. Work on yourself. Change without consistency is just an illusion. No promising the world and reverting to old patterns the first week. Evolve for real, for yourself, and because of yourself. Use the right triggers. Make her wonder what's changed in you. Don't say anything, show it. Nothing generates more curiosity than someone who's growing and isn't making a fuss. Maintain your stance. When she comes back, and she will, don't throw everything away. Show that you're not the same person anymore. Be the person she now has to conquer. Now tell me, are you going to keep being the emotional doormat she ignores? Or are you going to transform into the guy she can't get out of her head? It's in your hands, but between us, I wouldn't miss this chance. And before you go, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here, you hear what no one has the courage to tell you straight to your face. Until next time, go live the life you deserve.